Hey guys, how's it going? Just thought I'd give you, it's February 15th, thought I'd give you an update on all the sleds and what events we've done, what we've got coming up. My last shop update was we were kind of in the process of building some of the sleds and whatever, so we're outside. This is where we keep like some of the sleds that are just parts donors or sleds that we're going to build eventually that we don't have room for inside. But picked this one up actually yesterday. This is Dolores. Not sure what year it is. It's a 340 Enticer, wedge style. It's probably going to be used for parts because it's higher miles. The track is locked up. It's been sitting forever. I mean, somebody could revive it, but you know,
it's pretty rough.
Yeah, she's rough. This is just a chassis from a 78 Exciter. This is pretty much just a chassis from what I think this is a 83 Enticer 340. That's probably just for parts. Up there is a 79 Exciter. That one was kind of a barn find, and that one hopefully next year will get torn down and built back up because it's actually a pretty nice sled. So take you inside. Probably start by showing you the ones up on top. 79 Exciter. That one we've used for the BVRL for racing. It's studded, and if I was in better health, my back was feeling better, we would probably have that one out racing this weekend coming up. But I'm not, so we've got a 79 ET 340. That's a trail sled. That's a nice sled. It's done. It's, we don't have any snow here, and we haven't all year, so haven't had a chance to use it much. 78 ET 340. That one pretty much needs to be built yet. It's kind of rough too, but it's a nice chassis, and eventually we'll turn it into something. So, all right. So last time we did a video, I believe this sled here, it's a 90 XLV. Yeah, these are all Yamahas except for we got one Polaris in the shop. I built this one this year for myself, and then I needed back surgery, so I did everything. Everything's been gone over on it except for the seat, obviously. So really nice sled, fast sled. We had it out and tested it and stuff. That'll see action next year for sure. This guy here, over there maybe. All right, this guy here is a 85 SS 440. It's got an SRV 540 engine in it. This one I raced at the Junker Sled last year, and it hasn't really been used much since then. We had it all last weekend and did some testing to make sure everything was still good on it, which it is. And Griffin's going to be racing this one in the amateur unstudded class at the Manawa Snowdio coming up on Saturday. So the boys are going to be doing some racing there. Do you want to go do yours, or do you want me to?
Sure.
We'll let Keegan talk about his sleds here. So
this here is a 77 Exciter. It's pretty much identical to a couple other Exciters we have around here. It's studded. It's got clutching done. Motor's been completely gone through. It's a really fast, reliable sled. Haven't had too many issues with it. We did have to modify the tank. I know we've said that before in a previous video, because the 77 tanks are pretty unreliable and they'll crack at the top. So we've got a newer style tank on there, and it works just fine. So
got our sponsor on all of our sleds for this year, Northwoods Power Sports Adventures.
Which one do you want to go to next?
Why don't you just talk about your other ones?
Okay, so way back over here is another 79 Enticer 340. This one is affectionately known as the Piss Missile. The last shop update, this one was stashed way back under there and waiting to be rebuilt. But this one just pretty much your standard 340, except it's got a little bit of clutching done to it, and other than that, you know, it's just a race rat. You know, it's not a show sled. It gets the job done out on the racetrack. We'll walk over to the 80 SS here. This is my pride and joy. This is a, like I said, 1980 SS 440, but like that other SS, it has a 540 in it from an SRB. This one also has clutching, and it actually has a SRB skid under it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is a super fast, fun sled. Handles the bumps super nicely with that SRB skid under it. It makes the sled 10 times better over the bumps and jumps. Really fun sled.
All right, I'll go through the rest of them. So, actually, so did you mention you ran these at Arpin? Or?
Oh, no.
So, yeah, so the sleds that Keegan just talked about here, the last two, he ran those at the Arpin, I forget what the official name is. It was Arpin X, a snowcross event a couple weeks ago. And actually, this little guy here ended up in second place to a guy that was running a heavily modified Exciter with a widened frame and a 540 in it and all kinds of goodies. So we were pretty proud of that. And then the 80 SS, he ran that in the 80s class and the Leafers. Did okay in that too, but I guess I can, while we're on that note, so this is my other boy's sled. This is somewhere in the mid to late 80s, XLV chassis, SRB 540 engine in it, PG pipe and clutching and all that stuff, just like most of the other ones. This one actually, Griffin ran this at the Arpin Snowcross, and he did pretty well on this one. Ran it in the 80s in the Leafers. Where's his other one?
This guy here?
Oh, yeah, the Exciter. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh, no, it's,
yeah.
just glance over that one for a
Yeah,
second.
so he ran this sled. This was a 79 Exciter 440. He ran this one at the Arpin Snowcross event as well. Doesn't have a hood on it obviously right now, but its hood is on the other machine because we're going to race that one next weekend. But this one won its heat in the 70s class, and what else did he do?
He just did the 70s with that one.
He won his heat, and then he ended up fourth, I believe, in the final on it. So got that one. That one is
Can't miss that one.
Probably the most famous sled that we have in the fleet, because it's got the stack pipe. I know you guys watched the videos, you've probably seen that before. Everybody loves that thing. It's just a 78 ET 340. It's probably one of my favorite sleds that we have. We've got this sled here is an 80. It's got a 78 hood on it, but it's an 80 EX 440. And it's got a studded track. It's got an oval seat on it, and carbides and whatever. So Griffin's going to be running this one in the Lake Cross event, and that's the vintage class. Vintage, I think it's vintage over 400 class or something, like vintage open class. All right. And then this little guy here is going to be used for the Junker sled event. It's somewhere in the early 80s, 82 or something. ET300, got a 340 motor in it. And, should be a fast little sled. We've tested on that. It's got clutching done to it and stuff too. All this stuff is a product of, probably 100 sleds in and out of here being torn down for parts and buying them cheap because they don't run or whatever. You score some parts off of them. This one here came in to the shop yesterday. Needed a carb. They said it ran. It's got a sticker from 2015. We got it running this morning, and Not sure what we're gonna do with that yet. Just a mid 80s XLB. It's a nice chassis though. It's only got 2,500 miles on it. So I did mention, so this sled here, Keegan's gonna be running that at Junker Sled for the fast leafer. This one he's gonna use for slow leafer at Junker Sled, and that's coming up in 2 weeks or a week and a half. Griffin will be on this one for the slow leafer, and he'll be on this one in the main class and the fast leafer. So we're hoping for a good time and good results there. Everything should be ready to go, and yeah, so this is kind of mid-season. I guess we could, we got two other sleds. We'll acknowledge the Polaris.
Shouldn't be in here in the first place.
So we got an Indy 500. Griffin picked that up for pretty cheap. It had been sitting. You got it running. He's actually got it for sale now. So.
And there's that little guy back there.
And then we've got a nice little early 80s Enticer 300. That's Griffin's as well. It's just a trail sled. So yeah, that's where we're at. Middle of the season, couple weeks it'll be all done, and then we'll be moving on to dirt bikes and stuff. So just want to give you guys an update, and I hope you guys are all doing good. And, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.